Hello students, in this audio presentation, I will discuss the question answers, the short question answers from the poem The Voice of the Rain. I will discuss the short question answer from that particular poem. So the first short question goes like this. Why does the poet call this poem a translation? Now what was the reason behind it? And as you all know, it's a conversation between the poet and the rain. And finally, whatever the rain told the poet, the latter, that is the poet, translated it for our benefit. Translated it in such a way so that we can actually understand the conversation that already happened between the rain and the poet. So, why does the poet call this poem a translation? So, let's come to the answer part. The voice of the rain is naturally mysterious and is different from our own. Yes, the voice of the rain, it was totally different. So, that was the reason the poet translated it so that we can actually know the real cause of her existence and also the importance of the rain in the natural world. So the poet, who alone understands it, translates the reply of the rain into English. The poet, he only can communicate with the rain and he only can understand what the rain tried to say to him. So he translated it for every one of us into English so that we can also learn about it. Now I am moving on to the next question. What is the life cycle of clouds? This is a basic science related question. So let me come to the answer part. Clouds are nothing but water in the form of gas. The scorching sun turns the water on land and sea into vapor. This is the mechanism related with cloud formation. And also it is related with the entire mechanism of water cycle or water cyclic process. The water vapors rise upwards like dark clouds and float in the sky. Finally, the clouds again return to their birthplace in the form of rain. We have read, and you know by this time, that it arises upwards like intangible vapors, and finally cloud formation, different forms and shapes, and finally it descends in the form of rain or showers. Well students, now I am moving on to my third question. What question does the poet ask for the rain? What reply does he get? The poet asks the rain who she is. The rain, in its mysterious voice, introduces herself as poem of the earth. Now, who art thou? Said I to the soft falling showers. This is the line I am talking about. So the poet asks the question, who are you? And obviously it is written in your very first stanza only, I am the poem of earth. So the rain, poem means song. Well, the rain replied in answer that I am the poem of the earth. What is the cloud's birthplace? This is question number 4, dear students. How does it go upward to heaven? Again, the mechanism of the water cyclic process been asked in this question. I repeat, what is the cloud's birthplace? How does it go upward to heaven? The cloud's birthplace is the water bodies. And what are the water bodies? Like rivers, ponds, and the sea. I already told you all, and it is written in your text also, that the bottom bed of the sea or ocean. So, water vapors being lighter than air rise to the sky and take on strange shapes in the form of clouds, but the core matter remains the same. It changes into various shapes and sizes because clouds are of various shapes and sizes. And finally, it remains the same. Essentially, it is the same, but it takes on different forms or different shapes and sizes. So I'm going through this line once again for your convenience. Water vapors being lighter than air rise to the sky and take on strange shapes in the form of clouds. And finally, as the mechanism process tells us, it descends again in the form of rainfall. Yet essentially, it remains the same old water. That means the core matter or the core concept remains the same. I am moving on to now question number 5. What are the functions of the cloud or rain? What is the main function of the cloud, or what is the main function of the rain? The rain bathes, it is written there, leaves the drops atomics, dirt and dust of the earth. And leaves means bathes or washes. So the rain bathes everything on the earth, washes away dust layers. I already talked related to this in my previous tutorial audio presentation. So you know by this time, the rain bathes everything on the earth, washes away dust layers and cures dry conditions. Parched environment gets refreshed and its thirst is satisfied. That means the rain helps in quenching of the thirst of the earth by bringing rain. The rain quenches the thirst of the earth, obviously by waterfall or by bringing rain itself, and gives a new life to seeds. I told you all regarding the germination process. In this way, it cleans, purifies, and beautifies all things on the earth. In this way, it is very helpful in the natural world. It purifies, it cleans, and it adorns, or rather to say, it beautifies all things on the earth. Now, dear students, I am moving on to one more short question. What is the central idea of Walt Whitman's poem? Central idea I discussed in detail. Now, if a question comes where you have to write about the central idea, what exactly are you going to write? So, the answer will be like this. The poet wants to convey. Convey means wants to discuss or wants to spread. The poet wants to convey the birth, growth, change, and finally the blessings of rain. It is water that turns into clouds. That is the mechanism. That is the water cycle that we have read previously in our junior classes in basic science. Not only it turns into clouds, it wanders or it roams in the sky, and it takes on different shapes and forms. That is also very important, dear students. Not only it wanders in the sky, but it also takes on strange shapes, different forms and shapes. But finally, in the form of water, again it returns back. It is a never-ending, eternal, or a continuous process. And like a divine blessing, again the rain returns back to the place of its origin. That is, raked or unraked, with love duly returns. That is the main thing. Whether cared or uncared, the rain finally returns back to the place of its own origin. It beautifies, it purifies, it nourishes, and most importantly, it helps in the growth or the sprouting of seeds into plants. That means it helps in the process of germination also. These are the functions of the rain, and by this time you are all aware of it. So let me continue. But finally, in the form of water, returns to the earth. It purifies, bathes, and adds beauty to all things on the earth. Rain does its duty unmindful of any recognition. That is the reason I told you the last two lines, raked or unraked, with love duly returns. Whether you care for it or whether you are totally unaware of it, it never matters to the rain at all. It returns back to the place of its own origin. It helps in the rejuvenation process. It helps in the growth process. It helps in the revival process. It helps in the purification process. It helps in the nurturing process. And it also helps to beautify the natural element, or elements rather. Rain does its duty unmindful of any recognition. Human beings should learn a lesson from this and make efforts to preserve the earth. Ultimately, from our perspective, we have to learn a lesson from this poem. It has a very strong message, and Just like the rain tries her level best every now and then in an eternal process, like a divine medium, refreshing the earth, preserving the earth, it should be our responsibility also that we should make a lot of effort also on our part to preserve the earth. Just like the rain is performing her never ending function of returning back to the place of its own origin and reviving everything. So, dear students, that was the short question part. One broad question is there. Let me discuss this one also. Rain does its duty unmindful of any recognition. This question is also hinted related with the last part. Rain does its duty unmindful of any recognition. A great lesson is hidden here. What is that? What is the inner message that is hidden in this particular sentence, or rather in the lines that I am referring to? Wrecked or unwrecked, with love it duly returns. Yes, what is the underlying or what is the hidden message related to that? Rain is the song of the earth. We all know about it. It is the song of the earth, which in its birthplace and so its mother. It is its birthplace and so it is its mother. It does not forget its mother, and relentlessly means it makes a striving effort each and every time, continuously, relentlessly works to make her mother all green. Mother means I am talking about Mother Earth. All green, happy and worth living. It washes away the layers of dust and helps the seed to sprout again. It washes away dirt and dust, and as you know, it also helps in the process of germination also. It gives life to dry earth and drying plants. In a way, it makes all earthly things clean, pure, fertile and beautiful. We get to know all about its function. I discussed regarding all these functions previously. It fulfills the purpose of its birth by doing different duties, and finally returns to its mother and rests in her lap. Finally, exactly, it returns like a divine form to the place of its own origin. These services rendered by the rain are taken for granted, and the rain does not mind it. Wrecked or unwrecked, with love duly returns. It never minds. All this contains a hidden message for mankind, but ultimately underneath there is a strong hidden message. Man must do whatever he can to enhance. Enhance means to increase the beauty and glamour. Splendor means glamour of this earth, which is his mother. Man must do everything to enhance the beauty and the glamour of this earth, which is his mother. But in reality, he leaves no stone unturned to destroy his mother. But being a part of nature, it destroys nature recklessly. We all know it. He is ever ready to exploit her and leave her destitute. Destitute means totally alone, helpless. He forgets that by doing so, he is destroying himself and leaving nothing for his progeny. Progeny means the future generation. Unlike the rain, he tries his best to milk the mother earth to the maximum. That means exploiting the natural resources and leave her all day. He should not do that. He should rather do everything to keep his mother earth life-giving for all times to come. He should actually tactfully use the natural resources, not only for his own benefit, but also for the benefit of the future. He should rather do everything to keep his mother earth life-giving for all times to come. He should respect natural resources and give them some space for revival or renewal. If he does that, it will be the greatest service he will be doing not only to his mother earth, but also towards all living beings. If he can protect and preserve the environment, not only he will do it for himself or for his future generation, but also it will be helpful for the other living beings in this natural world. So that ends the broad question also. Dear students, go through this audio presentation. If there is any doubt, kindly clarify. Thank you, students. Thank you all.